Alright all, and welcome back to a new video, going back to the Cheltenham Festival Antepost portfolio video today, after what had been a pretty tricky couple of days over Christmas. Led me to take a few days away from it, I must confess. It wasn't a particularly enjoyable experience up at Leopardstown, which is a shame. Backing a lot of horses that didn't run to form or just weren't seemingly primed. It was very difficult to know what to make of it all, what to make of all the form. But I suppose the win for Album Photo on New Year's Day slightly perked up my spirits a bit. Obviously, long-term viewers will know how much of a fan of Album I am, and he's a horse we'll probably discuss later in the episode, because we've got another big batch of Antepost selections that have come out really from the Christmas period. So that's where I'm going to now. I'm going to run you through though, because we've got a decent enough looking portfolio at the moment, and we're going to go through all the prices and horses that I've tipped up so far. Some of them have been absolutely pants, some of them are not bad bets. It's hard, like the first ones were made in around September time, so it is hard. But anyway, starting off with Min in the Ryanair at 12 to 1. I think he's around 7 or 8 to 1 now. That looks a decent enough bet. Chacun Poursoif for the Champion Chase at 7s. He's now 6s. He's drifted a bit. His run at Christmas was a tad disappointing, but hopefully there's still better to come. Constantinople for the Triumph at 25s. Not going to run. He's trading in Australia now. Santa Rosa at 20 to 1 for the Mayor's Novice. We haven't seen her yet. You'd have to be concerned. Sam's Profile for the RSA at 40s. Again, haven't seen. You'd have to be concerned. And I think he'll stay over hurdles if we do see him. Elixir de Nuts at 33 to 1 for the Arkle. He went hurdling. He should have gone chasing, and it hasn't worked out. 0-10 at 33 to 1 for the JLT. Still could have a bit of a squeak. Going to run on Sunday at Naas, so it'll be interesting to see how he shapes against Tornado Flyer there. Could perhaps enhance his prospects there. Penhill at 16s for the Stayers. I think he's still 16s or 20s. If it came up decent enough ground, he might have an each-way play. Urgent de Gregan at 16 to 1 for the cross country. I still think it's a cracking price. You can get still 14s around. I can't see him out of the first 3 or 4. Envoy at 9 to 2 for the Supreme. It's disappointing to see him over 2-4 this weekend, but hopefully he doesn't win it that well and then he goes back to the Supreme, because he'll win the Supreme easily if he runs in it. Brecon at 33 to 1 for the Arkle. A bit of an outside play. You'd want to see him winning a beginner's chase. Windsor Avenue at 33 to 1 for the RSA. Wouldn't give up on Windsor Avenue, but more than likely he'll either not go to Cheltenham or he'll end up in the JLT. He didn't seem to stay 3 miles. Quick grab him up 66s for the Champion. Still worth the bet, 66s. Didn't run that great though over Christmas. You'd have to be a tad concerned by that. Hopefully he'll come on for that run, but still could well be short of that class. And Botox Haas at 33 to 1 for the Triumphs. He's now around 16 to 20 to 1, so that looks like a good bet at this stage. He went on to win at Cheltenham the day after I put that up, which was obviously great. He contracted in price by around 10 points after he won that race. But we've 5 to get through today from the Christmas period. 5 Irish horses, would you believe it? There's an awful lot of Irish horses on this list, I do see that now, but I do think a lot of the good races could well be dominated by Irish horses. Champion Hurdle, maybe not. Champion Chase, I'm not sure. But anyway, we'll get into that probably in the Cheltenham preview videos, which will have to start soon enough. But starting off in the Gold Cup, it's one of these races. I'm disappointed I didn't put them up before Christmas, because I knew this was going to happen. Well, no, I didn't know it, but I felt it was going to happen. Long-term people know that I put up Album Photo at 33 to 1 for the Gold Cup last year, and I'm putting up him up now. He's 9 to 2 best price. I still think that's not a bad price. He's more than deservedly the favourite for the race. He should have been the favourite for the race all year, but we all got on this lost in translation hype train, and he then couldn't jump in the King George. That obviously wasn't his proper run. I'll give him that. He'll be a much better horse at Cheltenham. He still has a bit of a chance, but he is an 8 to 1, 10 to 1 chance. He's not a 9 to 2 chance, which he was after the Betfair Chase. Album Photo came out on reappearance in the Savills Chase at Tramore. He gave Acapella Bourgeois and Shattered Love around £11 each and beat them quite comfortably, jumped quite well, it all looked good. He's going to go straight to Cheltenham, so his price won't contract or go up, I suspect. The only reason his price would contract, his price will contract if other horses keep underperforming. Like if the Irish Gold Cup's another scrum or something like that, he'll come in. But he won't drift. I can't see him drifting. So 9-2 is probably the best price you're going to get, and that's why I just want him in the team again. You know, a bit like last year. You want horses that have done you well in the past in the team, and if we're trying to get a few winners on the board, we need to start backing horses that we genuinely think can win races. The next one is in the Albert Bartlett, and it is a horse called Fury Road for Gordon Elliott, who won the Grade 3 3-mile novice hurdle down at Limerick. He won it very well. He would have won it easier, but he made a bit of a balls of the last. He dived at it, came up right out of Davy Russell's hands. He just seems to be a solid horse. You know, he jumps well in the main. He stays 3 miles well. My big issue for this race is Time Hill. I think Time Hill's a very good horse. I would run Time Hill in the Bartlett rather than the Ballymore. That's just personal preference. That's what I would do with him. I think he's a stout stayer. And he'd be my main concern for Fury Road. But there's not that many else that I'm concerned about. The Big Breakaway is obviously a good horse for Tizard. I think he'll either not run at Cheltenham, or if he does, it could all happen a bit too soon for him. He's a bit of a gangly, leggy type. Obviously won't be seen the best of till he sees a fence, I think. And I just think Fury Road's a very solid option here, and 12-1 looks decent enough for me. Still a bit of juice in that price, and that's why I'm putting him in there. One for the Champion Bumper. A horse that I fear in the Champion Bumper is Israel Champ. I don't think he gets the credit he deserves for his two wins at Cheltenham and Ascot. He's 10-1, I think 10 or 12-1 favourite at this moment in time. He probably deserves to be favourite, and as I say, he is a worry. But one horse really struck my eye over Christmas, and a lot of you people might think it was Eric Bloodaxe, but it wasn't. It was a horse called Appreciated for Willie Mullins, and the reason is Willie Mullins won the exact same race with the exact same connections a couple of years ago with Carefully Selected, and Carefully Selected won a 2-4 bumper at Leopardstown, which Appreciate won. It was over 2-4. Looked a stout stayer, looked like he'd need a staying test in time, but Carefully Selected went on then and tried to make all in the Champion Bumper that year, and was just pinned late. Was that the year I think Fiona got up? Or Relegate? Relegate got up. I think, with Katie Walsh, to beat Danny Mullins on Carefully Selected. Carefully Selected was a kind of hardy horse. He still is. He needs a big trip now. As you can see, he's probably going to be one for the National Hunt Chase himself. But Appreciated shapes like that. He made all. He seemed to have a bit of boot, so he has a bit of speed, and then he stayed really well. And obviously you need to stay very well in the Champion Bumper. And I can see this horse trying to make all and getting very close. The Mullins horses he doesn't have that many very good, Champion Bumper horses, I don't think. So I guarantee this horse will rock up if he's fit and sound. And 16-1 seems a big price. He ran a good race. He beat a good field at Leopardstown and beat them easily. And with just the Carefully Selected line in my head, that's why I'm putting him up. The last two are bigger priced horses. They're very, very... You'd kind of want to take a bit of a leap of faith, but as you have done with a few of the others previously, you do need to sometimes take a bit of a leap of faith and hope for the best. One that I was very disappointed with over Christmas, and he didn't jump well, is City Island. And City Island was another big horse for me last year, but he didn't jump very well, but he was still bang there at 2 out in the race behind Mellon and Gallant John Joe when he made a big haymaker at 2 out and was pulled up immediately. Paddy Power and Betfair have put this horse now at 25-1 for the JLT, which I just think is a gross exaggeration for one bad run. I just think the horse over 2 miles, perhaps his jumping was put under a bit of pressure. Put this horse back out to 2.5. Probably needs 3 miles in time. I just think I wouldn't be giving up hope on him. And I think he's one good beginner's chase win away from being back down into 10 to 1 or something. The JLT market, it's not the JLT anymore, is it? It's called the Marsh Chase or something. We're still going to call it the JLT for now. It's just a bit of a windy market. Faugheen's the favourite. I don't think Faugheen will run in the race. Sam Crow's still second favourite. You couldn't put your money on him at the moment. Mr. Fisher, Jesus, surely he can't win a JLT. Like, there's some good horses like City Island. Another one that came into my mind was Tornado Flyer. I think he'll end up running in the 2.5 race at Cheltenham. He's at 33 to 1. I wouldn't put anyone off having a few quid on him either. But City Island, he's just a horse I like a lot. And if you just took out that run, like he was 10 to 1, 12 to 1 before that run, and now he's 25s. Like, I know he made a few niggly mistakes. I know you're probably going to tell me don't back horses that can't jump. I get that, the old age adages and stuff like that. But this is a horse of immense ability, and he's just one good run away. One even just race where he completes and come and wins, even a average enough beginners in Ireland, and he'll suddenly be back into 16s, 14s. And I think just with the lack of depth in the JLT that I see it, I think 25 to 1's a big price. And the last one is my first pick in a handicap, and this is a very speculative one because if he does run in this race, he'd be near enough top weight, and from that perspective, he might have a dash at the Champion Hurdle if the ground came up good. But I saw a band of Outlaws being advertised at 28 to 1 for the County Hurdle, and I think 28 to 1's just a huge price for this horse, because if he runs in the County Hurdle, he will be 7 or 8 to 1. He won the Fred Winter last year. He was third in the Galway Hurdle. As I say, he'd be near enough the top of the weights, but that wouldn't stop me from backing him here. They tried this with Ivanovic Gorbachev before, after he won the Triumph, and then ended up in the County Hurdle. They'll stick a claimer on him. You know, City Island, Band of Outlaws, you know, JJ Slevin, I suppose, might ride him, but like they could put Dara Keenan on him, or Darragh O'Keefe even, or somebody like that, you know, taking 3, 5 off near the top of the weights, and he's just a class angle, and 28 to 1 is a massive price. Because I don't know what you guys think, but if Band of Outlaws rocks up in the County Hurdle, is he not a single figure price? And I'm worth taking that chance that if he does go for the race, even off top weight, I think he's got a massive chance. He was near the top of the weights last year for the Fred Winter. Wouldn't surprise me if he could do the same this time round, unless the English handicapper handicaps him out of it, so he has to run in the Champion Hurdle. But if he's able to run the County Hurdle, 28 to 1 is huge. So going through the tips again for today. Album Photo in the Gold Cup at 9 to 2. Fury Road for the Albert Bartlett at 12s. Appreciated in the Champion Bumper at 16s. City Island in the JLT at 25s. And Band of Outlaws at 28 to 1 for the County Hurdle. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a like and subscribe to the channel down below. Of course, it means an awful lot to me. We gained a fair few new subscribers over Christmas, which was brilliant. I'm very sorry I couldn't supply you new subscribers with a few more winners, but looking forward, we can hopefully do that in time. If you do have your own Cheltenham suggestions, Cheltenham ideas, what did you garner from the Christmas period, do put them down below. Obviously, I do encourage that sort of action. The comments, the likes, the subscriptions all mean great things. And until I see you next time, which hopefully might be next week, doing another one of these Cheltenham videos, or perhaps in a week or two's time previewing some big races, I hope you have a great bit of luck and have a few winning tips. And until next time, I'll see you then.